What is up, everyone? It is I, the biggest bird in the verse, FC, aka Fried Chicken. Today, I wanted to make a live stream that was going on about FPS combat, armor, and whatever else. And I wanted to react to it live, but I didn't get the chance because I was at work. Well, I'm now at home, and now we can do just that an hour after the live stream has come and gone. So let me just boot it up real quickly, and then we can, watch it together, and you guys can watch me react to what I like and what I dislike for what is to come here in the near future for Star Citizen FPS gameplay and what is to come here as well. I've already read over the patch notes and there are some really cool things that interest me. So let's get it going. Right. So this should be fun. Before we get started, I want to let everyone know that I am hosting a giveaway for a brand new Argo Moth with lifetime insurance and a Star Citizen game package. This is the most recent salvage ship that has entered the fray. It is considered a medium salvager, so you're going to be able to go out there and have a lot of fun, just in case you don't want to fly a Reclaimer or a Vulture. Secondly, I am also going to be giving away an Argo ATLS with the Corpsman paint scheme. Now, both of these vessels both have lifetime insurance and a Star Citizen game package. All you got to do in order to enter this giveaway is 1. Be a subscriber, and 2. Comment on any video I upload in between the time periods of the first Monday of the month, which is March 1st, through the first Monday of April, which is the 6th. Other than that, rate, comment, and subscribe to enter. Best of luck, citizens.
Is FPS combat and gameplay. As we are wont to do sometimes, we put up a thread on Spectrum, asked you all to submit your questions, vote up the ones you wanted to see answered most. During this week, Zach, Luke, and Sam went through, selected the questions that they thought that had the best information to give. I added 1 or 2 curveballs. We researched the answers, we ran them by Rich, as he says.
Okay.
Just to make sure that we give you the best answer. There's a couple of questions in here that are going to have really long answers. You might notice. You see the
What's up, at Desync? How's it going, dog?
On people's on the lights, I guess. Some of these questions were very involved, so we wanted to get some notes and make sure we provided the best information possible. So,
how you doing, dog? How's it going today?
We're going to start off with this question from Star Citizen Disco Lando. Where's my goddamn Apex Valakar?
Okay, so
wow.
I'm not on creatures anymore, but I did ask the people who were on creatures.
Oh, why not?
Oh, not because of anything bad, but because it turns out me doing everything is not good.
Yeah, more Apex Valakar variations will be nice.
We got a creature team now that are more focused on it, don't have to share resources. Basically, working on it, dialing it in. I won't speak for their work.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that.
It's one of those. I probably shouldn't have started with this question. I just wanted to get it out of the way.
I wanted to watch this live, but I missed it. I had a question for them, but it is what it is.
I was just having a conversation with the newly minted creature team and whatnot, and it's the expectations on this are now from being first introduced in 2016, from being brought back again in 2023.
Yeah, the sandworms.
We've come really close to getting it where we wanted, but then there's just something that doesn't make it feel right. There's something that doesn't quite make it the.
So the question that I had, if I remember off the top of my head, I wanted to ask about FPS weapon stats. What's going on, Cesspool? I wanted to ask when they're going to implement a bar graph stat system for our FPS weapons for damage output and for the attachments we throw onto it. They teased it a long time ago, but we haven't seen anything new with it since probably like about 2 years. And so my question was if they're still working on that stat system so we can properly understand what some of these stats actually do and how they affect our FPS weapons, like the Stoic Suppressor, Toric Compensator. There's a whole list of stats that these things can do, but it's confusing to understand how they actually affect our weapons and stuff. So better descriptions and maybe like a bar graph system, kind of like how most typical FPS games have when it comes to their weapons and their attachments and stuff, that shows what happens when you put these attachments on it. That was my main question. But I don't know. I'm about to find out to see if anyone asked that question or not.
Apex experience we've been looking for. So they're still working, and I think you spent this amount of time on it. You want to be sure you get it right, or at least have the best chance at getting it right.
It's easier to make an FPS boss fight because there's a lot of context that you can refer to and you know it works. name me a game where you have multiple people in multiple spaceships fighting a humongous worm and how you make that fun and
air and on
and that's
ground.
in an MMO with a huge planet with the servers. Yeah, so
yeah, it's somebody hold on. Beardshire has used their opportunity to be a first-time chatter and said vaporware. Good. No, still working on it. It's just wanting to make sure it's everything we want it to be. Next question. You keep saying you know the med gun is wildly OP and then never doing anything to fix it. What's the plan for making medics actually relevant in the game long term, as it's a profession slated for 1.0, but is currently entirely useless?
He's not wrong. Medical gameplay is useless. We have all this medical equipment, but we can't properly utilize anything. I saw in 4.7 that medical service beacons are back. So some form of medical gameplay is on the way. I'm excited for that because that was a fun gameplay role. It didn't matter if you were being set up as a trap, because that involves FPS combat, which is my shit, or if you were actually helping someone in need. So service beacons are coming back in 4.7, and I can't wait for that to come back. But let's see what Jared has to say, and the guys at CAG.
So we're aware that the med gun is very strong at the moment. We've commented on it before, and obviously with crafting upcoming, there's going to be lots of balance changes, there's going to be lots of weapon adjustments and things like that, and we're looking to address it then. But more importantly, on the road to
facts.
The medic profession, all of that is slated in to be locked in, get lots of improvements on, lots of new features with, and things like that. So medics right now, sure, but medics on the road to 1.0 will get a lot more breadth and depth with the things that they can do.
Okay. So they didn't forget about medics.
Oh yeah, you've got a big long section here coming up, so we'll get into that. Sam, this question is probably right up your alley.
You'd hope.
Can you address the lack of level design that facilitates FPS PvP? We're just getting right into the questions.
Yo, that's a big one. I understand the pain and struggle for level design. So recently, me and my organization did a type of infiltration operation, if you will, carrier ops, if you will, where we had teams tasked to guard the cargo while we had a pirate team tasked to invade the ship. We used the Starfarer because that was the only ship that we could find that was suitable with decent enough level design where we could have such a infiltration mission go down, just in case if we ever were actually pirated out there, if we were hauling very valuable resources or materials. And so if they were to implement this better on either boots on ground or maybe a contested zone, if you will, or just a ship that has a layout that's suitable, then, I don't know. Let's see what they got to say, though.
And remember,
I
they
see
pick
you
the
like
questions,
some fried
so
chicken,
they're not
boy.
shying away from the tougher topics.
What's up, homie? Appreciate you for subbing.
Lack of level design that facilitates FPS PvP. To explain, even
I am a CIG affiliate, if you will. They give me ships for my giveaways. It's cool. Right now I'm giving away a Moth and an Argo ATLS, and then next month's giveaway is going to be a Saber Peregrine. I'm saying that Peregrine. But yeah, CIG just sends me ships to give out, and I give them out. And yeah, if you're part of their affiliation program, that's what they do.
The contested zones separate people. Blue doors, timer, separate people out, making it hard to run into people. All the other places are worse. A lot of places are very linear and choke points.
I see you.
Making them not play well for PvE, SC sandbox scenarios. What do you have to say?
All right.
So a lot of our older locations were built with just a lot less level design resource, essentially. But what we're trying to do now is that, obviously, this game is very heavy on PvE. There's always going to be PvP. That's never going to stop.
Yes, sir.
We've started building locations basically intended for PvE, and those locations are always going to be more linear. They're always going to be more set up for that, and when instancing comes online, that's not going to be a problem for everyone else either. You're going to go to a location, and you know it's only going to be you, so you're going to enjoy your PvE gameplay. When it comes to PvPVE or PvP locations, with the bigger level design team now, we can actually focus on making sure that there are multiple entrances. The sightlines are actually cared for and ensured that it makes sense for multiple teams coming in from different angles, and that we just make sure that cover placement and all of that sort of stuff is up to scratch, basically.
The LD team's a lot bigger now as well,
yes,
compared to where it was like 2 years ago.
We've gained 6 people in the last year.
Yeah, I don't think it's. I don't.
I ain't gonna lie. That wasn't much of an answer. He just gave us some information saying like, yeah, we're working on it, type of answer. Bigger team.
I think it's inappropriate to say that level design was probably underserved.
Yes.
In previous years of Star Citizen's development.
Yes, sir.
Why that is, variety of reasons, but it's been recognized in the last 12 months, and the rectification is in process. Like you said, is it doubled? It's probably more than doubled at this point.
I think it's about doubled now.
Yeah.
We still got a few more coming. But.
Yeah. So we recognized this challenge early on. We recognized we weren't doing enough to support it, and the fix for that is underway. I just saw a review of Starkitect locations on Tuesday, and you could see right away. I'm like, oh, these immediately look different than the stuff. Not just with the visual stuff. I'm talking about the layout, with the amount of cover points, with the amount of interior, exterior, combined, cover spaces where you're half inside, half outside. Lots of moving in, moving out, and stuff like this. The big towers.
I think if they wanted to take some good inspiration on some really good level design, they should really take a look at Marathon's Outpost. That level is probably one of the best PvE PvP levels I've ever played. And I think they should look at that and figure out a way how to scale it up and make it bigger, where it can be properly utilized for all of the aspects and stuff.
To make snipers incredibly deadly and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot more effort. There's a lot more effort going in, and I think the stuff we have coming down the pipe, Rockcracker, and then going forward, the new Siege of Wars and the municipal works are going to benefit from that renewed focus on level design.
Same as the Starkitect stuff as well in the future.
Yep. There's always going to be a gadgets question. Any progress on gadgets like trip sensors, scanners, remote
claymores,
and so on?
So I've got an answer, and it has the word Squadron 42 in, so I'm going to read it off the page.
Squadron, okay.
Currently, we have the deployable shield, breaching charge, and some other bits in Squadron 42, and do plan on shipping that in the PU in the future. We also have an area denial grenade coming this year as well. We plan to add more gadgets in the future, and we do like doing some surprise community wants, like the binoculars, which are much asked for.
Okay, that's cool. So we get some more stuff, more throwables. I can see them implementing that. Only thing that sucks is that it's on Squadron 42, and the code for Squadron 42 is not exactly the same as the PU. So engineering is going to take a long time to properly have it coded over to the persistent universe. So, as they said, it's coming. Can't wait for it. It's going to be fun. Give me a claymore. I would love to have a claymore or a little wall sticky,
That's cool. Luke, this might be wrong. I don't know. I'm guessing. What plans are there to make clothing serve a purpose when an undersuit and armor is better in almost every way?
Good question.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, clothing is never going to have the same fulfill the same purpose as those things. But it's never going to be space worthy. But we are, working on combat clothing, which will have more damage mitigation. So if you want to imagine a kind of John Wick style suit, that kind of thing. But yeah, I think the main problem now is that it's one or the other. You have to wear clothes or you have to wear armor, right? And that's where Starware is going to come in and change all that, because the purpose of clothing is cosmetic. It's to dress, the way you want to look. So to just go into that in a bit more detail, you'll be able to, with Starware, have your undersuit on if you want it, and then put certain, jackets over the top, all the jackets, certain trousers, gloves, boots on the top, then armor on the top of that, and then...
Okay, that's a good answer.
We're going to have hoods and big overcoats that can go over some of the armors too. So
okay.
All these layers.
Yeah, he answered that one really well, because I was getting ready to ask or say that the question sounded like they're talking about throwing an undersuit on and then throwing clothing over it. He made that very clear. So gotta wait for it, as always.
It's like we said at SitCon as well, there will be areas where you can't wear armor, so clothing and all that will have particular uses and things like that.
We've talked about that in the past, like locations that prohibit it. And you have to kind of turn things into customs. So,
like how you can't wear a big backpack in your fighter. You have to wear like a flight suit instead.
It's probably more useful to wear the kind of combat clothing we were talking about.
There's never been an MMO where cosmetics isn't the end game.
Yeah,
Gotta care about that drip.
a couple of people in chat were right away. Fashion Citizen is endgame.
Someone said it's like showing off Star Wars.
Gotta be drippy.
Possibly. A very early iteration. No, but it's it cannot be overstated. I'm really glad you brought that up. We've Chris, other people have mentioned for years that this idea of wanting to facilitate the wearing of clothing as opposed to armor. He hates that everybody wears armor everywhere. So this will always be kind of a goal at some point to go to. When I first saw the outfit scanners that were part of a Stormbreaker, the ones where it forced you to change into the scientist outfit in order to open the door. Like,
that was
I
tough.
was really excited about what that means for the future. You know, forcing people to switch into.
I didn't like that part of the ASD Lazarus where you had to put the doctor suit on, mainly because we had no place to put our actual armor at. Like if they put like a locker for us to place our armor where we can also then put on the doctor suit, it would have been fine. But we just had to drop everything on the floor where it was before we decided to start tractor beaming the bodies over and reviving the scientists while opening the doors. Give us a reason why we should take off all of our stuff and a place to put it, versus it just being out in the open where it could possibly disappear or we can get shot.
Outfits as opposed to armors in order to infiltrate something. The gameplay options there were really exciting. As like this, so yeah, it's combat clothing is a bit interesting though. I heard the term and I didn't realize you're not full on John Wick kind of thing.
Wait, not bulletproof.
Yeah,
no, but. You know, some decent mitigation, not to the point of being better than light.
There's 1,000 years in the future.
Yeah,
There's going to be clothing that's a little better than what it is today, anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I'm going to ask one more question before we go to Luke and his treatise here.
Okay. Keep it pushing, Doug.
Are there plans to add spatialization for sound in FPS? I think sound plays a major role in combat, but currently we can't locate our enemies or tell if they're wearing heavy or light armor.
Oh my God. So you guys remember when ASD Onyx first came online? They added some sound effects to your person. They tried making your footsteps sound heavy. They tried making our magazines make like a jingling noise whenever you took a step. You can actually hear your magazines clicking, clacking against your body and stuff. It was still too quiet where you couldn't hear anyone who would sneak up on you. If they were crouched down, they were almost invisible.
Yes, I think this one was for me, but was it for me?
That's what they got to say. Very curious.
Oh, there you go. Well, that's why I don't have it written down.
I'm just going to talk for hours.
Go on, perfect.
Yeah, I've talked to the audio team, and they're really keen on enjoying this armory factor, reworking what we've got so far, so that if you're wearing a heavy suit, you actually sound extremely heavy. But like beyond that, they really want to have the wearer feel that they're in a heavy, suit. So if you're wearing that massive radiation suit,
which is kind of in right now. That is kind of in, but other players can't hear you though.
And I've generated this big list of audio I want to hear specifically on, like the stealth suit that we're going to be having.
Like suit
to be the quietest sounding, because no matter what emissions it gives out and all that stuff under the hood, if you can hear your feet squeaking against the floor as you run, sneak up behind someone, that's really off-putting. So
that's kind of how it is right now. You can hear your own footsteps very clearly, but you can't really hear anyone else walking around unless you got some headphones on. And not everyone plays with headphones, so it is what it is.
Yeah, it's really important to nail all that.
It's also worth pointing out that footsteps have gone through a big iteration in Squadron as well, in terms of like when you sprint in SC right now, it's you get essentially you have the heel down and the foot forward making a noise, but now it's just one foot plan. It's also reading the context of the environment as well. So if you're on railings, it will make railing noises and things like that. So we've gone from a generic footstep noise to an environmental context noise.
I was just thinking about these
really
nice pair of Jordan 1 comforts.
This dude be wearing some Jordans.
The sole's been redesigned for maximum comfort, and it's got this little triangle shape cut out at the bottom, which is supposed to be great.
I feel like Jared is a sneakerhead. He looked like a sneakerhead.
My gait is weird.
I bet he got a wall.
That little triangle makes a suction sound when I walk. So I got really excited to,
Like
to, to,
Squidward.
to wear them. They look great. They're super comfortable. When I came to the office, it's like every time I walk in, it's just
Whoa, pause, dog. That
They're indoor shoes now.
I can't-
crazy ass noises.
I get other people to check them out. I would look online. Nobody else has this problem. It's just I walk wrong.
Is there a leaflet for that?
I don't know. No, not for that one.
If you want to sell them, there's some people who pay good money.
When weapons like the pulverizer have a slowdown effect from having them equipped on the back, are there plans to give them weapon inertia as well, as in they handle slower than other weapons?
So just to start off that, they don't
That's a good question.
have a slowdown effect. They just weigh a lot. And depending on how much weight you have on your character moves slower.
You become encumbered.
Do like, oh, this gives you a 20% movement speed debuff just because you have this weapon on. It's systemic. There's weight. The more weight you have, the more you slow down. But yeah, go on. With the
Well, they fixed the way how the magazines look on your body.
The thing is, I
Big inner tube.
so I thought I'd have done my spiel
Okay.
on.
So one thing we're talking about with the armor work is essentially having it so. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the heavier the weapon is, the more weapon inertia you get. So if you've got heavier arms, it's easier to handle heavier weapons. So if you're wearing like light arms and you have an LMG, you'll essentially have a lot more weapon sway. Think with the Fresnel, how long that takes to correct the sight picture. That's an example of something that, you know, if you had light and you picked up heavy, it's a way of saying, cool, you want to fit in the archetype, that fantasy of being like, oh, I'm a super heavy armor wearing, I've got my LMG, I'm walking in a location, versus like, oh, I'm light and I've got a pistol. Because as you know, in real life, the shorter the barrel of a weapon is, the lighter it is, the easier it is to move around. Like I was talking to Luke about this. And
It's kind of backwards. He's saying that if you wear heavier armor, it'll be easier for you to control the heavier weapon. I don't think that's how it works in real life.
the reason why pirates always have short swords is because if they're on boats and they're killing people close, that's why they have short swords. That's why people clear runes with like pistols and SMGs and things like that.
All right, we're going to get to your question. Since it sets up, I want to preface this. This is actually 3 questions.
Yeah, it is 3 questions I'm answering here.
It is 3 questions. So, you got your notes, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, I want to show you. Can you see this? This is the notes for this next question.
Dang, that is a lot. Someone was being very detailed.
Yeah. It's that much. You wrote that much, Luke. So,
I would have made my question like half a paragraph.
at this point, I'm going to ask these questions, and then Sam, Zach, and I are going to go get a beer.
Can you get me one?
All right. So these are 3 questions. 3 questions that all have one combined answer. Okay? Question 1. How will the upcoming armor rework make it so armor choice is more diverse? Question 2. What benefits are planned for players who wear light and medium armor in PvP and
Big
high-end
facts.
PvE environments versus heavy armor? Currently, the movement bonus obviously doesn't typically offset the damage reduction of heavy armor. And question 3, with the addition of crafting armor coming, what's the progress on armor functionality? Armor roles like tank, recon, heavy scanning, stuff like that. All right.
That's a lot. Okay.
All right.
You got the script.
We don't have like a single camera for Luke, do we? Oh, we do. There we go. Excellent.
Which one is it? There we go.
That's a serious question. You got a script for it.
Finished.
That's it.
It's something I'm actively working on, and we've had multiple reviews to decide which stats I'm actually going to be able to play with. Because one thing we don't want to do is ruin the game, like make it unbearable, you know, by just making things worse. So there's lots of things we're doing to like improve things as well.
It's so hard.
Pretty much making sure that the video game stays as a video game.
I'm going to bed.
I had something so snarky.
That's good. That's good.
Go ahead, you mean.
Like design-wise, I think we're like 90% there. I've just got to pitch some of the non-systemic perks, you know, the perks you get for wearing a full suit of armor and stuff. Because we've got most of our the perks are actually quite systemic. So the stealth suit, actually each piece like blocks the emissions of your body and stuff. So like you have to have a full thing, and then suddenly, you know, you're stealthy. But you know, the perks where you have to make something up. Like,
Okay.
I don't know. I'll give like
Yeah, set bonuses. Come on, dog.
Well, it's if
I'm
you,
not-
like, let's say if you have a full stealth suit, right, you might get like a massive bonus to hiding your emissions.
Yeah.
Like as an example, something that makes sense within the context of the armor.
Something that's more than the sum of its parts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I made a video about set bonuses and stuff, and I talked about how each piece of armor. Yeah, I'm very curious if it or if it will require a full set. For example, Geist is supposed to be the stealth armor in the game. Will it require a full set of Geist armor just for you to use that set bonus? And if it's going to be powered on by, like, let's say batteries and stuff like that, like power armor, or if it's just going to always be on passively. That was a question I had too.
So, like, it's the more gimmicky things I'll
full set
say,
bonus type
but
stuff,
I don't really want to go into it because I'm not a pitch fan. But right, so our main aims with the armory factor are to give players reason to wear flight suits, light, medium, and heavy armors. Give players reasons to wear the combat versus utility armors, because that's been a big distinction.
Corbell Crush,
the two of
industrial
those.
armor.
To give players a reason to change armors based on their intent, and that's for specializations we were talking about in SitCon 2 years ago. So I'll go into some of those later. And then give individual armor pieces a purpose, so that, like, arms aren't just useless cosmetics and stuff. Each piece of the armor has stats with it that you don't get with the others.
That's gonna take a long time to develop.
Like for me, and I think for you as well, like the most important things is nailing those weight classes.
Yeah,
the feel of those weight classes.
It's very much so. Like last time I heard it's about the legs, and you get like you get mass reduction, right? That's so if you have heavy legs on, then your overall mass gets reduced because it's easier to walk and things like that. So it's like you don't just become instantly a tank because you've got the thing on. It's like, cool, I've got these legs. I don't want to be weighed down too much. I want to be able to like move faster, still with my heavy, but that will have other offsets, obviously.
Almost like a exo suit.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Power armor.
It gives. Right now we have this funny situation where if you were wearing entirely heavy armor, you had a full backpack on, all the attachments, and then you took your leg armor off and you just had naked legs. I mean, in real life, you'd crumple under that weight. But in the game now, you are faster because you weigh less.
Yeah.
And that's obviously something we want to get rid of.
Yes, power armor, batteries, everything like that, etc., etc.
Like the way we're going to make lights versus mediums versus heavies and flight suits, like very different, and actually a choice you make is there's damage mitigation. We're going to up the damage mitigation on mediums and heavies to give you a higher TTK.
Beyond what
Okay.
Beyond where they are now, yeah.
Which gets obviously offset with crafting and the improvement.
Because you die so easily in the game, just a couple shots and you're dead.
Me and Deck, who was on crafting, are in this interesting situation where obviously you only have between 0 and 100 to play with, and we're having to like meter out and share the percentages we can go up. Yeah. So I can go up to this, and then crafting will take you up to this. Okay. So yeah, that's an interesting thing to have to take into account.
You build better weapons, and you have to.
There's so much.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. It's a constant arms race. Yeah.
Or you just hit them with a
or a legs race.
The combat crosshair, which is it's going to.
I love the combat crosshair. A lot of people don't like it. I think every helmet, maybe minus a couple, like starter helmets, should have the combat crosshair. It has changed the way we play. People at first hated it, but then everyone absolutely loves it. I need it. Swear to God.
Primarily be on combat suits, helmets. So like not everyone is getting that anymore, which is kind of the way it's done right now until we figured out.
Okay, so that's why every helmet has it. I was curious why the Deadhead helmets had it. They're just giving it to every helmet as a cornerstone, I guess. They're just as a placeholder, I mean, where, yeah, it is what it is. Okay. So we should start seeing them disappear from a lot of helmets here in the future, which sucks because some of my most favorable helmets needs it.
Flip the page. The ability to have your MFDs cast to the visor, which I think everyone has right now when they sit in the ship, that's going to be for flight-specific helmets.
Flight suits, okay.
And ship handling as well will be impacted by wearing medium or heavy armors. So that means...
Talked about this lots of times.
Slower. So if you make a hard turn, it will take it slower if you've got medium and heavy armor on.
G-force resistance.
And G-force as well will be lower in those
Racing suits.
You'll pass out quicker.
You can't wear heavy armor in fighters.
Via G-force tolerance in things like the combat and racing flight suits, so it's not all just a negative. FPS radar, when that comes, that's going to make a huge difference.
Yes, sir. Can't wait for that.
Classes for a start, because bigger things, they're noisier. You'll hear them on your passive radar.
Yep.
A good example is combat helmets are seen as the default right now because they're the main archetype that we have online, but that will make more noises and emissions. So you'll get less feedback, but then you'll obviously be quiet and less picked up by radar and scanning and things like that.
Yeah,
Yes,
if you wear
sir.
lights, like you'll all have the same strength radar, but being light gives you the ability to get so many meters closer before you're picked up. And we keep alluding to this, but I'd say the most important feature is the mass mitigation, and that affects the weight affecting the player. Like you weigh more, obviously, the whole thing together weighs more, but if you have like heavy arms and then heavy core and heavy legs, and then you
Dying out here.
A railgun in your arms, right? That'll be fully supported. No added weight to the player. But then if you start taking pieces off or making them like a lesser weight, that will start, like the percentage that those arms can take will get less and less. Like, you know, if you take your legs off, like it doesn't matter what your arms can lift because your legs are still taking the weight.
No, you guys are just trying to say power armor without saying power armor. Pretty much you need to have, your set of armor just so you can do things. You know, if you take your power legs off that is powered up by your suit, then you're not going to be able to carry all that weight. You're going to become even more encumbered, move slower, all that good stuff. But when you have those legs that are attached, that takes power to be able to use, because they're all digital. Then you'll actually be able to carry that railgun easily. He's just struggling a little bit.
That thing completely.
It's very nitty gritty, this obviously, but we still do have like high level archetypes as well. So like things like having like medic armor and things like that are
this
is in the weeds, but we also do have the high level ideas of like different combat armors, different like we have the scanning armor and things like that. What's it called? The hunter armor. Hunter
armor. That's Antium.
Scanning and things like that. So there's some like very high level, easy to understand stuff, and then you have this stuff which is down in like the nitty gritty weeds of it.
Like reducing the amount of times you're going to see somebody in a hospital gown carrying around a railgun. So if you want to be able to keep a railgun up and on your shoulder and use it, you're going to need to actually increase the mass of your armor in order to have that benefit.
I can see that causing some controversy.
To you, so make it possible for you to carry it.
Yeah. And finally,
because that's just going to make you want to always rock heavy tier armor. If they don't dive in next about why you should rock medium and light tier armor, then it's just going to become the automatic meta to always just wear heavy armor, especially for those who do like Hawthor or Line of Mine, who usually rock railguns to take down ships that are flying in. Not everyone likes to rock just pure heavy armor. I'm one of those people. I like to rock medium, light. I wear everything. So I'm curious how it's going to be implemented in the future once they actually start working on it.
This is not no finally on this.
This is
point.
not finally, by the way.
No,
you have and finally written in here 3 times.
Yep.
Luke, this is not and finally.
This is
not and finally.
And finally on the weight class. Right, because this is what we're talking about. Weight classes, they span all of these archetype types and that. Like, you can have a heavy medic, maybe.
Heavy medic? I would rock that.
EVA. Controversial, maybe. EVA will be removed from undersuits as it is now, so everybody having it, and put on some but not all flight suits and cores. And we'll be introducing an EVA backpack for those who don't have EVA built into the suit.
Will the EVA backpack be able to store items, or is it just a jetpack?
Or if you do have EVA built into your suit and you just want more fuel and more oxygen, you can also put that on as well.
It's you're basically adding a whole lot of choice. Basically a whole lot of tactical decisions between what you wear. It's not just going to be about rule of cool. It's
if we have armor lockers that worked in our ships where we can place this so-called backpack at, where we can swap between a real backpack and the EVA pack, then it'll be awesome,
Yeah. You have to understand the situation that you're going into and the best loadout for that situation. Not just bringing the right weapons, but soon or when the time comes.
If you're going into fight that you're Mondi, you might want to bring people with more medic suits, for example, because you're going to have to heal each other more and things like that. So
Of course, if you don't have EVA, you can just bring your fire extinguisher, right?
Yep. I fall in love with that.
Okay, and final no. So that's weight classes. There's a difference between combat and utility, that's a big difference, and that's mainly down to the mass mitigation, which you'll have more of on the utility. That will mean that combat armors are lighter to start with, right? But the moment you start loading them up, they get slower. Whereas utility armors start heavier, and then the more you load them up, the more they can take. So you kind of keep the speed you're running at with those.
Okay.
Whereas if you streamline yourself in combat, you'll always be faster. And also,
I assume there's different types of utility armor then.
Yeah, there's loads. Yeah.
Okay.
Which I will jump to now then. Right. Flight suits.
His face.
Racing flight suits. Amazing G-force resistance. Really good environmental resistances. So, if you're racing in a car on all kinds of planets, you'll be fine.
And I hear that's the flight suits getting their G-force resistance is not necessarily a far away thing.
No, I think Yogi's working on it very soon.
Yeah.
He's working on it very soon, so he's not working on it yet.
No radar. They're super stripped down. No EVA. And really poor damage mitigation because they're basically just kind of levers.
Pretty much naked out there.
Combat flight suits, which do have EVA, they have better damage mitigation, bigger inventory, but slightly reduced G-force and poor environmental resistances because they're made for space, right? Then you've got the combat armors. You've got the assault armors, which make up the majority of our armors right now.
If you want to put new stuff out, you've just got to have a crosshair at the minute, otherwise it doesn't feel as impactful. But obviously that'll be revisited when we get more archetypes in.
Yeah, it's definitely our biggest section of armors we currently have. And these are the pure combat armors. We've got the best at absorbing damage, good radar for finding humans, and but they'll lack EVA.
Yeah.
Can you find creatures too?
Yeah. Anything with a emission of kind of IR and EM.
Okay.
But it's not resource. They do not have resources, so you're not going to be finding minables with those. Stealth armors, again, we've talked about. They reduced emissions and sounds. What are you reading the red pen?
I'm seeing how much is left.
No, just that.
Man's got a book.
The Hunter armors we've talked about is the only combat armor to have EVA, and it has an amazing radar for finding people. They'll see you coming more though. And
what other hunting armor do we have outside of the Antium?
Right, I'm going to actually breeze through these because I don't want to spend too long actually. Right, medical can scan health. So when you do a scan, it will show you the health of people around you.
Okay, that is huge. That'll be nice. Let's say you're rolling deep with your crew, about 6 people deep. You're in the back of the pack, and people, the front people, taking point. They're taking the damage. You can just ping them real quickly. You're like, oh snap, the homie Dark Juice needs to get healed up real quickly. So you zap him, so you can see his health because you pinged them. That will be awesome. I'm curious how they're going to implement it and which medical armors are going to have it. If it's going to be the Chiron AA armors, or they're going to make some more medical armor in the future. I don't know, but that will be really nice. I can't wait for something like that.
And various other things, and it can locate.
But it may also show enemies around as well and show their health level. If it's not only exclusive to who is in your party, if it's just everyone who's in the vicinity, then it may be able to show that other enemy hiding behind the corner as well too. So I'm curious.
Downed players from much further away, like specifically, that's its thing.
So if you have
right?
medic armor.
Yeah. So if you do a scan, you're going to pick up the down players that you wouldn't normally pick up just by IR and EM. Yeah, there's engineers, and they can reveal the positions and health of components.
Engineering armor? Okay.
And resource specialists, these are like the salvagers and miners. We have an amazing resource radar. And hopefully we'll reveal details about minables that you would otherwise have to go up to and scan, like from a distance.
So you can be on the surface or whatever, scan, send your ping out and see the things. You don't have to go to it to find out.
I'd say it's more for it being in caves where there's that kind of distance. It's still a distance to go, but if you scan and then focus on a rock that is like 50 meters away, you might get some more information than that otherwise you would have to.
Over to it.
Yep. And then you've got the Explorer, which is like the jack of all trades. It's got kind of good utility. It's got the crosshair. It's got good environmental resistances, and it can scan resources. Its damage resistance is fine, but it's not a combat armor.
Okay.
And then you've got all the other kind of very specialist things. You've got EVA, heat, cold, and radiation. And they hopefully speak for themselves.
Pembroke, Novikov.
Thank you for everyone who's still here.
Zeus fly suits. These guys, they just want to get off camera. They don't want to be on camera.
It's a huge spreadsheet. It took me forever.
Yeah. How is the... Obviously, we've been talking about some aspects of what you've been talking about, which you just talked about, we've been talking about for 2 years now.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you want to give like a general progress? I'm not saying a when. Don't answer a when question.
Like I say, I think like 90% of it's done, and maybe even more. I've got a few more things to clear when it comes to those perks. The things that make them stand out, and again, a little gimmicky, right? All this that I've talked about is signed off, right? Once I've got those perks sorted, it's just off to code to do estimates, and then we see where it fits.
Okay. So still in the design phase.
Still in the design phase. I've run this all by code, and they like have ballparked it, but
okay.
FPS weapons? Come on.
Sam.
He's reading.
How has the new focus on dungeon-style content, we call them operations, but the question says dungeon-style content, changed design goals for FPS gameplay?
So the quick answer is they haven't, really. We've changed what content we are trying to make currently, because before we started making the dungeons, we didn't really have any. And we've been taking a lot of time to try and start constructing these more defined locations where we want to take players through an experience.
There's a lot of old locations that they can use as quote unquote dungeons as well, like the distribution centers. I remember when they first came out, they talked about how they wanted people to go down the big cargo elevator, go into the bowels of this entire station, you go run missions, gather stuff. They teased it, showed off a bunch of gameplay, raid gameplay, but it never came out. So hopefully this will see the light of day sooner than later.
But that doesn't mean that we're going to stop making any of the other sort of more contested zones, PvP-oriented areas. That's still very much a thing that we're focused on. It's just we're trying to counteract the amount of content that is just general outposts versus defined experiences. We want to basically go from where previously we made locations to show off features to just making locations that make use of features, or just cool locations. Because I wanted to make a big ring station that you can ride a gondola around, so I did it, and that's coming out this month.
It's so sick.
That's the QV breaker.
Talk a little bit about Rockcracker. It's a little off the topic here. Folks who are in PTU, are seeing that there's essentially at this moment there are 3 kind of different versions of these breaker stations.
Yeah.
There's
Exclusive,
ones that don't
contested.
have a rock in them. And those will
And
be
that one.
for a variety of sandbox missions that actually come online about 2 weeks after 4.7 releases.
Yep.
So 4.7 will release hopefully towards the end of this month, and then about 2 weeks later there'll be another content
Hopefully.
that releases an entirely new suite of mission content that will utilize these third versions of breaker stations. I realize I'm starting on 3.
Yeah.
But then there are 2 versions of the breaker stations that have these giant, enormous rocks in the center, and one is more like a contested zone kind of thing. It's like players have seen with Line of Mine and Stormbreaker and stuff. It is, you get the mission and everybody has these locations. They're on your star maps. You go and it's
The contested ones aren't on your star map.
All hell breaks loose.
on the star maps.
No. So the way they work is that we have multiple instances, basically. Not instances.
Yeah,
in,
you can't use that word yet.
Not instances in actual instance, but a version of a mission that's at a location. And so basically 5 groups of players can go to each one at a time. And
Okay.
multiple locations that they can go to. And the expectation is that you should be taken to one where someone else is and you should fight for the stuff, basically.
So that's a bit more chaos in those.
Contested Zones 2.0.
It's for people who want to do PvP and who don't want to spend the high price of entry for the exclusive ones.
And that brings us to the third one, which are these exclusive ones.
Yes.
These ones are also not available on the star map. You have to earn the right to purchase the locations to these versions.
Currently in the PTU, you do not grind rep. You just go into the mining section of the contracts, and then you just buy a contract that allows you to go there. So him saying that there's going to be some reputation towards it, meaning we're going to have to grind in the future to grind.
Of the breaker stations, and those allow for only the people you share them with have it. So a true PvE experience at these places. So it's a neat evolution of what we were doing last year and learning the lessons we learned last year, and always trying something new and stuff like that. So these 3 different versions of these breaker stations that are coming in 4.7 are pretty exciting, and always trying something new. It's
definitely.
Yeah, with ASD, or with the Onyx facilities, we dropped roughly 600 of them, across planets. Always trying different things to see how to give something for everybody.
Yeah, we basically wanted to make sure that people who only want PvE should be able to get that, and people who want to fight for stuff can fight for stuff if they so desire.
Yeah. Now, the flip side of that is that there won't always be a PvE version available.
Not always, but we've placed a decent.
Oh my God. So yesterday I was trying to stream the game, trying to get into the QV breaker stations. And since there was only 30 stations available for exclusivity, it was a fight to be able to actually get our own exclusive station. And when we finally was able to get our own exclusive station, the station was broken. So it's tough. So majority of times, if you're going to walk in there and do this, it's going to be PvP, unless you get lucky. You're going to be fighting the entire server just to get one of those exclusive stations.
Yeah. So, and those are kind of things we'll continue to tune throughout PT.
Maybe add like another 20 more stations or something, because it's tough.
And stuff like that. And it will continue to evolve as the game goes on.
The rewards also got better. I improved them today.
Okay. He improved the rewards. Yeah, I can't wait to see if they add more of those really high rare rocks versus the other rocks that was just spawning in. But yeah, I can't wait to see once I actually am able to find a station that works.
Nice. Anything you want to tell us about it?
Not specifically. Go find it.
Okay.
Go find it. Ha 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 ha.
Zach,
Yes.
this question.
Is this the doozy?
Well, I don't know what you think is a doozy.
Yeah.
This question has come up
Okay.
on and off
Countless times.
since it was first introduced.
Crossbow.
Concept back in 2013 when Shroud of the Avatar came online. It's 2013.
Right.
2013, 2014, I can't remember. Back with Richard Garriott and Portalarium and stuff.
Too long.
This question is simply, how is the crossbow coming along?
Yes, sir.
So this was the first year that I got to basically plan out all the weapons.
So the crossbow, its main design has been in the game for a long time now. But due to a physicalized item traveling across a distance, they never released it because there's desync issues with that.
And the first
Let's see what he has to say.
one on the list obviously, that always gets mentioned is the crossbow. So I can confirm that the crossbow is coming this year. The main reason I think that we got that crossbow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Backer, so he is very interested in getting his skin. So yes, crossbow this year. But
Yes, sir.
some other cool weapons.
Other? Like what?
Before we move off the crossbow.
So yeah, crossbow confirmed according to them. So we may see it probably towards the end of the year. I'm curious how well it is going to function, especially with Desync.
It's not just
If the ATSCAV can shoot a visible bolt across a long distance, and it has the most bullet drop out of any FPS weapon in the game, they should be able to probably copy and paste some of the attributes from the ATSCAV to the crossbow, just changing it from a lightning bolt to a regular bolt. I can't wait to see how it works and get some FPS testing when that happens.
It's not just going to be available to the folks who, pledge for whatever level of Shroud of the Empire. There are versions of it going into loot for everybody.
I believe they get a specific skin
Yes.
if they were Shroud of the Avatar.
Yes,
backer.
but the crossbow, a weapon this cool, is going to be made available to everybody who plays Star Citizen today, either through loot or through a bundle or whatever, or if you...
There you go, guys. It's available to everyone, but you got to loot. You can't just open your wallet up.
And the process of how you claim those will be made available to you when it comes time to add it to the game.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So cool in the new gun.
That excites me.
There is one with space blanking, like we said, space AK.
Are you just going to move on to other new weapons?
Yeah.
Sure, go ahead.
Crossbow's a crossbow.
No, talk us about more.
Yeah, so...
New FPS weapons. I'm about to eat.
Space kind of based on a real gun sort of thing that people really like. We got loads of people like the space AK. We've got a lever action rifle. We've got...
Ooh, lever action rifle. Hold on. What type of lever action? Like a Winchester? Like the click or a bang type lever action. I'm curious what they mean by that one. There's multiple styles of lever action, so...
You're adding more space versions of existing weapons.
Yes.
Okay, so like you did with
Okay, Space Cowboy.
Correct.
there's going to be a
Space...
something or other.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not like the Space AK, the kill shot. Hopefully it's more modernized, like a bearing weapon or a Claws and Warner weapon, where it's more modern versus it being bolted together with duct tape, 2x4 technology.
You don't want to reveal right now.
No, because it's very cool and it's something that people mention a lot, and I think it's it's fun to find out, but just a little tease.
Like Space Godzilla.
Yeah, Space Godzilla.
Space Godzilla? Okay.
A real thing.
Yeah.
Space Godzilla is a real thing.
Okay, these guys, they're funny.
I'm very excited.
Let's see. They teased the Medgun pistol already. We already have an idea what that looks like.
You're glossing over this.
Hold on. My bad. I was talking over. He said a bullpip rifle? Yo, it's about time. People have been asking for that for a long time. Ooh, I'm curious how it fires. If it's going to be a burst shot, single, or full auto.
This is a med gun that...
I want to leave it at that. I want to say the name of it, and then...
We eating.
Okay.
All right, so you're being intentionally obtuse.
Yeah, basically.
All right, send your letters
You've
to
met me
Zach
before.
Priest, care of 6 Manchester Goods Yard.
Yeah.
All right, so med gun pistol.
Medgun pistol, bullpup rifle, lever action rifle, and some more cool stuff later on as well. So...
You're not going to tell us? Come on, man.
And well, sorry, let me be clear. Our intention is that those things come this year. And yeah, there's some other stuff. That's not just it. Like we also spoke about, we've said, we want an area denial grenade. We know that gadgets and utility are big requests and things like that. But those are the things that I want to tease now. There's more than that. As we delivered a lot of weapons last year, we want to also deliver a lot of weapon content this year as well.
Yeah, last year was the year of Volt weapons. That's what we got throughout the entire year. Nothing but Volt. So maybe we might get some more ballistics this year, or maybe some plasma-based weapons as well, like the Karna, or laser-based weapons like the Claws of Warner.
Like he just casually dropped, there's going to be a lever action, a 30th century lever action. Right.
Oh, it's gonna.
Yeah, let me get that Marlin 1895 Trapper. Let me get one of them shooting at 4570 government. Come on now.
The plan is that it's going to have evolving geo as well.
Evolving
You switch
levers?
the fire modes and stuff like that. So
Okay, just by seeing his hand movement, it's going to be a bottom lever action. Okay. I can't wait. Like I said, there's multiple types of lever action rifles, and he just specified with that little bodily movement right there. He just did what type we're going to be getting. We're about to get that Winchester.
leaning into like taking it and making it really cool and sci-fi.
And your intention is for this to come. All these ones that you mentioned. Intention.
Intention.
We all know how game
Yeah,
development works, but the intention is for all of these to arrive this year.
Yes. And some more other cool stuff. We planned out this year in terms of like looking how much we delivered last year. What can we deliver this year that is exciting and is, you know, really fun?
Okay. You actually printed up some pictures.
Look, I wanted to do it. I had some pictures printed out here, and I was going to say, which one do you want to know about, chat?
Okay,
and then
You do have the close-up.
I'll let you. Yeah.
Okay.
Give me one you want to show.
He's gonna show us. He's gonna show us concepts. Don't show us the crossbow.
what the top one is, but this is a hint.
No, over here because we got the close-up
You
camera.
got it.
Okay, okay.
Come and bring it to me.
Go on,
Don't
Matt.
drop your microphone.
I won't. There you are. So there's a hint on the bottom of what it is.
A hint.
This
You even put a hint.
is
You're
the
gonna show it to us?
Go to the close-up. Go ahead. Let's see if it works. Okay. This is what he.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Let me tell you something. I have one of those. I legit have that. That is a Marlin 1895 Trapper short barrel, not the long barrel. I have one. If I wasn't scared about being demonetized, I would pull it out right now and show you guys on stream. I have that exact same rifle, but mine's tactical because I got a tactical hand grip on mine instead. Absolutely filthy. So we are about to get some serious shit. I'm curious if it's how futuristic it's going to be. Is it going to shoot lasers? Is it going to shoot ballistics? I don't know, but I'm excited. I'm excited.
This is what he brought. So this is I'm assuming a space lever action,
Space lever action,
They're silly.
some railroad tracks.
and you'll have to figure out what that one is.
Railroad tracks. Maybe like a Tesla cannon style weapon. Maybe it's going to be towards lightning bolt company. That's how I look at it.
A fence.
Okay.
No, come back.
Oh, you want me to pick it up? Oh no, don't sit on it.
Just go sit down.
Okay.
Sit down.
This
Damn
dude.
it, no.
They're silly.
In Saint 666
Yeah, someone
says
got it.
dumbest thing ever.
Someone got it.
Mom? Okay.
And that one is stocked, not shouldered as well.
Chat, you got it.
Yeah, that was easy.
How did they get it? I just, you know what?
We are not subtle.
Geniuses.
I can't believe that my puzzle was horrifically obvious.
He's not a level designer.
Speaking about a MedPen gun, can we have the MedPen automatically switch back to the gun after being injected, like it already happens in Arena Commander?
Yes, that's one of the options that we do want to add.
Yeah, we need that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
It's a pain. It's a pain right now.
Sooner than you hope, but further than you'd expect.
That's very helpful.
Good.
That's very helpful.
sometimes I say things that get me in trouble, and sometimes I say things that I want to say things that would really get me in trouble.
Game development.
Let's see. Any progress on FPS item wear and tear, like armor tear or weapon misfire?
Yes. So in terms of weapon malfunctions and weapon overheating, every single weapon has that in Squadron at the minute. So every single weapon jams, every single weapon, well, the weapons that can overheat do overheat. That is fully implemented in Squadron 42, and it will be coming to the PU in the future.
Of course, it's coming to in the future, but how long do we have to wait for such game mechanics to be introduced into the game? Come on, engineers. Come on. We need that right now.
Okay. I'm going to guess this is you, Sam. Would it be possible to climb more stuff?
Yeah. Basically.
Oh, there's more to this, like SU box.
The yellow paint, the green lights.
Yeah, it's all
I
the
thought
fun
this
ledge
person just likes to go into the soft play.
It's
Yeah, we need to be able to climb more stuff so we can repair our ships. Some of our components are on top of our vessels, and there's no way how to get up there. There's no ladders, no nothing. So we have to just climb our vehicles if we can. But right now, there's no vaulting system for us to climb our vehicles. So that's important. That's a good question.
we want to climb everything.
Is it possible to climb more stuff?
Yes, essentially. A lot of older content still probably won't be able to climb as much, but as we have a much larger level design team now, we are able to make more stuff climbable and also design stuff that's more traversal oriented.
Make our ships more traversal.
automated cover generation is now a thing. So level designers don't have to go and manually place a couple of points as well.
that was
which is
awesome.
very nice.
Yeah. Still have to double check it though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't know. Don't turn it all over to the machine like Amazon did.
Yeah, exactly.
What is the status on swimming?
Fully implemented in Squadron 42 will be coming to the PU in the future.
Okay. Typical. Okay. Whenever they say that fully in Squadron 42 coming in the future, just push it out like half a year, just 6 months to a year. That's how I'm gonna look at it.
Yeah. We've said fully implemented in Squadron 42 a couple times.
Yes.
How different is FPS in Squadron? Yes, he's going for the paper.
Going for the paper. Rich said, don't get in trouble. He's like, I'll allow you to answer this one if you're not going to get in trouble.
Okay.
Now I've got to find it.
Challenge impossible.
So
Oh,
the question is, I'll cover for him while he searches for his paper. How different is FPS in Squadron 42 compared to Star Citizen, and what lessons from polishing there can we expect to come to Star Citizen?
Okay.
It's gonna be hella different. There's so many different mechanics that they showed off already.
Of work on the player character. So from minor things in terms of like the how actions automate into each other. So we have something called the sprint toggle now, which is the default, which essentially means like if I'm sprinting and I shoot, I have sprint to fire, so I don't start shooting when I'm down here. It comes back up, it's natural, it feels good. Even the new sprint pose, which is like up here, which includes like head bob. All of these things massively improve the experience that
Okay.
you get to as you play the game.
Typical FPS shit.
When we were doing in 2023, when we showed off all the FPS improvements at SitCon, where you think like backpack reloading, you think like ammo repooling and things like that. We're writing on these things in Squadron and obviously polishing them up for the release. And all of the things that we are working on in Squadron will come to the PU in future. The action matrix is the biggest one. We've got like sprinting while reloading. It is
Sprinting while reloading? Oh shit.
spending a lot
Say
of time
less.
in that FPS experience and making it feel really polished. And even like sprinting now, like it's a really big thing for me because the gun goes down here, it goes off screen, you can't see it. When it's up here and you feel like you're running and things like that, it just feels a lot more
Immersive.
polished. It's very nice. It's the FPS experience basically has been dialed in.
You add a Toby eye tracker to your system too. Look around. Okay.
Stuff which escapes the top of my head right now. But
You have your notes.
I accidentally deleted the question. I realized.
Oh, you want to come over here?
You said he deleted the question.
Go on.
Smooth.
This was one I had to ask Rich for. Very nice.
There you go. Go ahead.
Thank you for. Oh, I get to sit in the chair.
Yeah, go sit in the chair.
Perfect.
You've been good today.
There you go. So yeah, as we said, with movement accelerations, melee improvements, that's a big one. So hey,
That's a good one.
You're going to go in front of you anymore. It's
Yep.
There's nicer animations there. How it follows up feels better.
If they were to add any improvements, it will be using the item customization button. So, when you have your tractor beam or your FPS weapon and you hit the J button on your keyboard, that pulls up your weapon customization tab. Usually when you pull it up, you start scrolling, your head does this really crazy, weird jerk maneuver, and it's all over the place. Hopefully they can fix that jank because that bothers me. I'm someone who only carries one tractor beam. Majority of Citizenverse will carry two just because they do that, but I carry one and I just hit the J button and I swap between my components on my beam. So hopefully they fix that.
Weapons having consistent slots. So for people who have to constantly switch around and do those things, I know it's very annoying, but that is now like, cool, I have weapon 1, I have weapon 2. They have consistent slots. The action matrix. Oh yeah, for example, sprinting and med penning now, if you press sprint, you press your med pen button, your med pen, then you automatically go back to sprinting. So sprint toggle, beautiful. My favorite one, weapon raise 2.0. So as you know
Weapon raise 2.0? Explain.
right now, if you go up to a surface, you do this. We now have a procedural back.
Raise. I thought he said raise like RAYS. Not raise like raising up in the air.
like that, and it's very, very nice. We've also moved the pushback point to the optic. So for people who want to aim over railings and shoot over railings, you can now do that.
Nice.
The FPS experience overall is far more smoother to play. FPS AI has basically been overhauled Francesco Riccucci and Chris Roberts have been themselves very involved in that process as well. Chris has been very keen on
I can't wait.
the AI experience in Squadron, so they've been working very closely together. Entirely new audio setup for guns. The guns sound absolutely amazing.
Ooh, man, they doing work right now on these guns.
The audio work on them has been incredible. Not just the sound that you hear, but also the mixing. So that's basically how loud shots are, how they feel. So if someone's down the other hallway and they're firing, it sounds like they're down the hallway, and it is honestly gorgeous.
So I've been playing a lot of Marathon, and they have really good sound design when it comes to their gunplay. And so I was like telling myself, like, this is the new standard for gunplay audio, just because of how good it was. I knew where everything was always happening around me. So if CAG about to do this too, oh my God, no one can compete.
And yeah, all of that is planned to come to the persistent universe.
He's better than you.
Perfect.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
He kept looking at himself on the screen.
How can I not look at myself?
You gotta look at the camera like this, see? You gotta look down the camera like this. But he spent the entire time, he wasn't talking to you, he was talking to himself the whole time.
We've got a question in here.
No. Go back. Don't trip over stuff.
I'll try.
All right. Good job, Zach.
Thank you.
Oh, you kicked my cable out.
Oh, damn.
It's all right. Talk amongst yourselves.
Oh, shit.
I give you a topic.
Okay.
No.
All good.
We are almost out of time. We can squeeze a couple more in these. Why is the boom tube dealing so much damage?
Okay.
Facts.
Rich told me to be very careful with this one as well, but I actually do have this one written down because Rich said you can't say, oh, it's not.
But it is.
Boom tube dealing so much damage. Well, basically, as we
Boom tube can one tap a hammerhead, a fucking hammerhead with one shot.
said, we're going to be looking at balance, we're going to be looking at damage and those things, especially with crafting coming more online, especially with armor coming more online, like you said, with the heavy armor, with the mass resistance and things like that. But the hardest thing with the boom tube, obviously, is the diversity of vehicles in the game. The diversity of the health between a light fighter, a ground vehicle, a heavy vehicle is, you know, it's a complicated game, especially when you mix all those things together. But most importantly, this is something we're looking at. I've already come up with a couple of ideas of what we want to do, like increasing the arming distance. Like there was a clip on Reddit recently where someone just shot it in a ship and the ship blew up because they were raiding on. But yeah, so it's something we're looking at and keeping an eye on. You know, if you take a boom tube into an encounter, you're sacrificing a weapon slot. You're sacrificing the ability to, you know, fight other people, fight other NPCs. So it's a heavy cost versus the reward you get for how slow the projectile is and how much spread it has.
Yes, sir.
Doing a bit of a refactor on the way explosions deal damage to actors, because right now an explosion deals 6 times the damage to the player because it hits their head, arms, legs, body. So you have to balance it weirdly, like so that one explosion would do like just 100 damage to that table, but to you would do 600 damage. So it's really hard to balance. So we're making it so that any explosion will do 100 damage to the player. Divided by, depends where it hits them, to how much damage they take, and it'll still just do 100 damage to an object.
Okay.
Not bad.
Is med penning yourself in a down state still a planned feature?
Yeah, we need. What's it called? What was it called in older games like Call of Duty, Last Stand, Last Resort, whatever it is, where you're down, but you're not down. You know, maybe the NPCs will incapacitate you, but you're still able to crawl around. They're gonna say it right here. I know they're gonna say it right here. Watch.
Still a planned feature, and the plan is to move it to the Adrena pen. So basically, if you get downed, you'll enter a down but not out state. That's also fully implemented in Squadron.
Last Resort.
But Squadron has expensive self-revive pens. It's obviously MMO single player game. But yes, so the plan that is still planned. And let me just check my notes, see if there's any other caveats there. But
you'll be an Adrena pen for rezzing other players as well.
Yes, that's the other bit. You'll need the Adrena pen for other people. Yeah, so you can crawl around on the floor.
Yep, Last Sand type shit. Yep. Like I just said, they're going to clarify, and they did. I've been waiting for this to hit the verse for a very long time because it's so easy to die, especially from bugs, whatever that's happening around you. You get incapacitated, you can't move, you can't get back up. But with this implemented into the game, you have a crutch to stand on once you go down, especially if you happen to be walking down some stairs and the stairs kill you, because that's a real thing in excuse me. That's a real thing in Star Citizen. It happens all the time. It's a lot better, but yeah, ladders kill people all the time too now. It sucks when you're not even in combat and you just die. The Asgard, its little ladder going to its second level to get to the cockpit still kills people. Recently, the Ursa rover, the medevac version of it, hopping out of the medical bed will also incapacitate you. Having something to fall back on when small little bugs like this hurt you will be super nice. And so yeah, it'd be cool. It'd be cool.
What is impact force in crafting?
Damage.
Is there anything planned
This dude.
to make something stronger than heavy armor?
Yes.
Yep. Super.
Tank armor. Super heavy. Just call it tank armor.
That is not just a new armor set either. That comes with a lot of restrictions, specific weapon classes, and things like that. So I think one of the things is you're not going to be able to heal yourself.
Yep, you're not going to be able to heal yourself. You're going to have a super heavy weapon.
Yeah.
But you can use other weapons. It'll just be,
Yeah.
why would you in this extremely
Yeah.
restricted thing? It's all
Okay.
about, you need the support. Like, because while you're there and you've got the
Juggernaut armor,
you're
pretty much.
unstoppable.
Yeah, these are developers of the game.
But the moment people start chipping away your health, if you can't pull out that pen and heal yourself, you need a teammate there, otherwise you
These are all official CIG developers.
Like a medic archetype of some kind.
one of
crazy.
those, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That pretty much does it for today's show, guys. Thank you so much. I do want to address something in the chat here. A lot of questions in chat, rightfully so, about desync.
Yep.
Probably no greater challenge that's affecting FPS combat and gameplay
Yep.
today than desync.
Killer.
The reason Luke, Zach, and Sam aren't talking about it today is because they're designers. They do not work in the network coding, the server infrastructure, any of the areas where desync rests. To that end, I'm going to go ahead and volunteer
What's up, Kavari?
our own Chief Technology Officer, Benoit Beauséjour, and I'm doing this right now on the fly. He doesn't know about it. It's not a gag. I'm seriously doing it. So if it doesn't happen, you can blame me and not him. Benoit used to do these big, long posts on Spectrum where he'd walk through one major technical issue or another. I'm going to walk out of here and ask him to do that for Desync. It's not a conversation that I think super works in conversation like this.
Super
He's
works.
also one of the only people at the level to have the full overview and umbrella look at everything involved that contributes to it. So I'm going to ask him, and I'm going to go ahead and commit him and say yes right now. I still have one or two favors to call in. So I don't know when that's going to happen, but he's here. He lands here on Saturday. The first time I see him, I'm going to ask him to make this a priority and see if we can't get this going. Because I agree with you. I think it's an important thing. And I think the best way for us to talk about it is probably in a detailed post where, people can reread and read the information and parse the information. So we'll see how successful I am at that. But my promise to you is that I'm going to try. And Benoit is a pretty good dude. So I imagine it'll happen.
Yes, sir.
All right. With that, that's Star Citizen Live. Thanks for watching. We've had a nice little streak of Star Citizen Lives. This is either our fourth or our fifth episode in a row.
Okay.
Next week we're back with an episode of Inside Star Citizen.
Ooh, haven't seen one of those in a long time.
The various content that's coming with Alpha 4.7, as stated, targeted for the end of this month, available for PTU now. You can help us, as always, getting into PTU and
Leaving feedback,
and beat on the pipes and
typical stuff.
make issue council reports and everything. Yeah, sorry, I'm realizing that I just signed Benoit up for a thing, and I'm just gonna. I'm already thinking about what I'm gonna have to say. Nobody say anything publicly until he hears it from me.
Wow.
I'm realizing he's now going to see it on Reddit or something before.
Okay. I think he's just yapping now. So let me let's turn that off. So yeah, there was whoa, why my face so close? I gotta fix that. Something's weird going on right now. Whatever, I'll just bounce back over. Uh, yeah, there's a lot about to hit. Lever action rifle. I can't wait for that to hit. Crossbow says it's going to be finally put into the game. That's huge. And then a couple other FPS weapons as well. Different gadgets. You like the yapping? Want me to continue playing it, Kavari? I can continue playing it if you want. We can finish it up.
Hold on.
We can finish it.
Canada's a few days behind though.
Hold on. We're gonna throw a Hail Mary, guys.
At Benoit in the chat.
Stay with me.
Staying with you. Staying with you.
We're gonna try calling him right now.
Wow. You gonna put him on the horn? He better not answer.
What time is it in Canada? Are they awake?
It's Montreal, right?
Yeah.
That's
Teams would like access to the camera. Have I
5
never
hours
been to
behind.
Teams
Oh
call?
wait, no, it's 4 I think right now because of the daylight savings.
Oh yeah. That'll be
Oh, you like to do the yapping? He ain't picking up. Whatever. But yeah, there's gonna be a lot about to be hitting here real soon. I personally cannot wait to see what is gonna be dropping here. They said a lot. Brand new armor architects. They said there's going to be new medical, new generalist, new industrial, and then new combat. And they're trying to differentiate between regular generalist combat armor, hunting armor, and a bunch of other stuff. So lots of really good armor about to hit us here soon. They talked about EVA backpacks, and then I call it last resort, which is, engraved in my mind because I played a lot of Modern Warfare back in the day. That's what it was. If you went down, you had the last resort perk, you had a chance to get back up. And so, that old school type shit, they're going to bring it over to here. A lot of other FPS shooter games, they have this pretty much integrated into it. Marathon, Apex, all these other games, Arc Raiders, they have it as well too. So this would be cool. They said that they have a brand new med pen, which is going to be the your pen that you use to get yourself back up. Which I can't wait as well because it's going to save you out there whenever you happen to get in trouble or get down. And so I can't wait. It's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be cool. It's going to change the way how we play with our FPS combat. I'm also just super excited for that lever action rifle because I have an 1895 Trapper, and that's going to feel right at home, especially if they make it shoot the big 4570 government round, if it's made by Bearing. They literally pulled up the image of the rifle that I have, which makes me laugh. I know where they got that image from, but yeah, they cracked me up. I'm excited though for what is to come. Squadron 42 is still slotted for a release this year, but just gotta wait and see what happens. Just gotta really just wait. The game's an ultimate open development, and there's a lot going on in the background that we don't know or understand. CAG tries to be as transparent as possible, but it do what it do, because as I always say, CAG do as CAG do. It was a lot of fun to watching them talk about all the new FPS stuff. They did do a lot of shortening when they were talking about what is coming from Squadron to the PU. Obviously, these guys are designers, so they design stuff. They're not the engineers behind it. So the crossbow, like I said earlier, has been in the game for a very long time. I can't say in the game, but it has been designed and completed. But due to engineering and drawbacks with interesting and stuff like that, Desync, like they talked about earlier, they couldn't implement the crossbow into the game sooner than later because of those reasons. Probably sure it broke the game whenever you tried shooting it, something like that. But now it should be dropping this year, hopefully this year. If it drops like by October, November, I'd be okay with that. I would not be mad. It's cool, and I can't wait to see what they have going on here for the new future. Because as you guys know, FPS gameplay is my shit. I want to see how well the Antium tracker armor is going to react once you actually start using its tracker capabilities, and if other sets of armor like the Geist, the Corbel industrial armor, the Palatino armor, if all of those are going to catch set bonuses as well. They've talked a little bit about how you need to have a full set in order for it to work. So that's probably going to anger some people. I don't feel like the advantages you're going to get from these set bonuses are going to be, they're going to greatly outweigh like a regular someone who wants to wear mismatch armor, show off their drip. I don't think it's going to really outweigh it too much. And I still think that they should integrate a power system as well for these armors. You know, like a battery pack you insert into the back so you can power up your armor so you can use its effect. You use its effect and then the battery is depleted. You have to replace it if you wish to reuse it again. They also talked about weight and encumbrance when it comes to rocking heavier weapons, which kind of confused me a little bit because, again, they didn't say power armor when they should have said power armor. They said that you cannot carry a railgun if you're not rocking heavy tier legs. So, obviously, your legs are going to have to be powered in order to carry that extra weight versus if you're just out there rocking your skins. And so, there's some confusion there here and there that they didn't clarify too great on. Man, I wish I was there live to actually put a comment down and see what happened, but no, I missed the opportunity. But other than that, though, I'm excited. Again, the question I want to ask was FPS weapon stats. If they could make it be a bit more clearer, maybe like on like a bar graph system, where you hover over it, you can see what the stats are. You attach let's say a turret compensator onto a P4, it'll actually show you what it's doing to the gun versus it just putting it in just basic text, what the attachment does. So, you know, all that stuff. You know, yeah, exactly, Kavari. Rocking skins collected from your enemies. You already know. You know how it is. Other than that, though, I think I am going to end things here. Just wanted to take a peek at today's live stream to see what was going on inside Star Citizen or Star Citizen Live. It was good. Only reason why I actually made a reaction video towards this is because you guys know that FPS combat is my thing when it comes to Star Citizen. It's what I cover. I cover the FPS weapons, armor, all that good stuff. And I can't wait to see the differences between armor in the future, because right now all armor is pretty much identical. All light armor is all the same, all medium, all heavy. Only values that are realistically different is environmental stuff like your radiation resistance, cold and heat resistance. That's the only difference between armors right now. But other than that, everything else is just the same. So, you know, it is what it is. Other than that, I'm out. I'll catch you later, Kavari. Thank you for coming through. You know, Big Bird out.